In the heart of a bustling city, there stood a modest coffee shop, a retreat of comfort amidst the chaos. It was here that Michael, a widowed man in his early 50s, sought refuge every morning. His days had become a monochrome routine since the passing of his wife, Clara, who had been his companion for 2 blissful decades. Now a void filled his heart, a void that echoed with the laughter and memories of a love lost too soon. Michael was a picture of resilience for his 3 children. He had to. He was a single parent to 3 kids, 12, 16, and 19 years old. His job downtown provided a decent living, but it was just another part in the wheel of his daily grind. The responsibility of caring for his children fell largely on the shoulders of his aging mother, a woman of steel and tenderness. She offered to stay with them during the week to offer a woman's help, which Michael welcomed and appreciated. Each day, as he sipped his coffee, Michael's mind wandered through the corridors of the past, replaying moments with Clara. Her smile, her gentle touch, the way her eyes lit up when she laughed. These memories were both a comfort and a suffering. The story of Michael and Clara began many years ago, in the fresh bloom of their youth, just as they were stepping into the world as newly graduated adults. Michael had landed his first job at a small startup downtown, a place packed with ambition and the rushed pace of city life. It was there, amidst the clatter of meetings and the buzz of office chatter, that he first saw Clara. She was a recent hire just like him, young and somewhat shy, her eyes reflecting a quiet intelligence that immediately caught Michael's attention. It wasn't long before their professional interactions turned into brief exchanges of small talk, discussions about a challenging project, or shared amusement over a colleague's humorous mistake. Michael was drawn to her soft-spoken nature, the thoughtful way she expressed her opinions. One day, mustering all his courage, Michael asked Clara out for dinner. His heart pounded as he awaited her response, fearing he might have misread the friendly rapport they had built. But to his delight, Clara accepted with a smile.
"Can we afford dinner with our salaries?"
she said jokingly, then finished by saying,
"Would love to."
From that evening on, their relationship blossomed. They found in each other not just a lover, but a best friend, a confidant. Their bond deepened with each passing day, built on a foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and an ever-growing love. These memories, though painful in her absence, were also a source of immense comfort. They were a reminder of the beautiful journey they had shared, of a love so profound it had shaped the very core of his being. Even as he grappled with his loss, these memories were a testament to the void Clara had left in his heart. As Michael sat in the coffee shop years later, his mind often wandered back to those early days with Clara. He remembered the way her eyes sparkled when she laughed, the gentle touch of her hand on his, and the way she looked at him with her endless love. The coffee shop had one constant: Lily, the middle-aged barista with a warm smile and eyes that seemed to see right through you. She had noticed Michael from the day he first walked in, a figure of quiet sorrow, cloaked in his own isolated world. Lily tried to reach out, offering a kind word, a gentle smile, but Michael remained an island, distant and unapproachable. Yet there was something about him that drew Lily in, a depth to his sadness that made her curious. Is it profound love, loss, or just loneliness? She couldn't figure out why he was so closed on himself, a lonely soul, a man who barely talked. As the days turned to weeks, and the weeks to months, a silent understanding grew between them. Lily's presence became a subtle part of Michael's mornings. He would greet her, and her morning smile would lighten up the weight of his grief, turning the colors of his life a tad brighter. But Michael was the kind of man that couldn't let go of his past, struggling to let go of his memories that both comforted and pained him. His heart was a battlefield, love and loss waging a relentless war. Lily, in her early 40s, had her own tapestry of life experiences. She had seen hardship and heartache, yet her spirit remained unbroken. Her job as a barista was more than just a means to an end. It was her window to the world, a way to connect with souls from all walks of life. It was a rainy Tuesday morning when the first real conversation sparked between Lily and Michael. The coffee shop was unusually quiet, the patter of rain against the windows creating a romantic picture, a movie scene. Michael is sitting by the window, a novel in hand. Lily approaches with a fresh cup of coffee for him.
"I couldn't help but notice the book you're reading." The Great Gatsby, isn't it? Fitzgerald really has a way with words.
Yes, it's one of my favorites. I find something new in it every time I read it.
I love that about good books, the way they change with us. What brings you back to this one?
I suppose it's the nostalgia, the longing for something just out of reach. It resonates somehow.
I get that. Sometimes it feels like we're all chasing our own green light in one way or another.
That's quite profound for a Tuesday morning.
Well, rainy days bring out my philosophical side. Speaking of which, do you think this weather will ever let up?
In this city, it's always a coin toss, but I don't mind it. The rain, it's calming in a way.
It does have a certain romance to it, doesn't it? Everything slows down, becomes more introspective.
Exactly. It's a good backdrop for reflection and coffee.
Can't argue with that. There's nothing quite like a hot cup of coffee on a rainy day. Do you always go for the same blend?
Mostly, yes. It's one less decision to make in the morning.
I understand that. Sometimes the comfort of routine is what we need.
Routines are safe, predictable. There's solace in that.
But also, maybe a little adventure in trying something new. When you're ready for it, of course.
Perhaps you're right. I'll keep that in mind.
Well, if you ever want a recommendation, you know where to find me.
I just might take you up on that. Thank you, Lily.
Anytime, Michael. Enjoy your book and your coffee.
Lily walks away, leaving Michael in thought, a small, contemplative smile on his face as he watches the rain. Over the following weeks, their morning interactions became the highlight of Michael's day. Lily's laughter, bright and uninhibited, began to fill the void in his heart. On a particularly quiet afternoon in the coffee shop, Lily found herself chatting with her coworker Jenna as they tidied up the counter. Jenna, who had been working at the cafe for years, was a fountain of local knowledge and gossip. Lily, her curiosity circled about Michael, turned the conversation about him.
Do you know anything about the man that comes in every morning? The one who always sits by the window?
She asked, trying to sound casual. Jenna glanced towards the window where Michael usually sat, a recognition flashing in her eyes, and replied,
"Oh, Michael? Yeah, he's been coming here for years. Poor guy has had a rough time," she replied, her voice lowering in a tone of sympathy.
Lily leaned in, her interest growing.
Rough time? How so?
Well, about 3 years ago, his wife passed away. It was a car accident, sudden, I heard. Left him with 3 kids to raise on his own. He's been a regular ever since, always keeps to himself, though. Seems like he's still carrying that weight around.
Lily's heart clenched at the revelation. Suddenly, Michael's sadness, his quiet demeanor, made sense. He was a man lost in his grief, trying to navigate a world that had been forever changed. As Lily absorbed this new understanding of Michael, she couldn't help but feel an affiliation with him. She too had known loss, although of a different kind. Lily's journey to that quiet coffee shop was marked by a path of personal pain and resilience. As she came to understand more about Michael's loss, she found herself relating to him on a level deeper than most could perceive. Her own past was a tapestry of pain and strength, created from experiences completely different from Michael's, yet equally scarring. Lily had once been a part of a marriage that promised love but delivered pain. She was bound to a man whose nature was revealed to be narcissistic and harmful. The relationship, once a dream of happiness, turned into a daily suffering of verbal and physical abuse. It was a time in her life where shadows grew longer with each passing day, and the light of joy and self-worth dimmed under the oppressive cloud of her spouse's behavior. The most heartbreaking consequence of this tumultuous period was the loss of her son. In the proceedings of the divorce, her husband, wielding both financial power and manipulative tactics, gained custody of their only child. Lily, struggling to find her footing and unable to fight against the legal and financial battles, faced the agony of separation from her son. The knowledge of his absence, the not knowing where he was or how he was growing up, left a void in her heart that no amount of time could completely heal. Finding solace in the routine and simple pleasures, Lily worked at the small coffee shop to find solace in the community it fostered. Her job as a barista became more than a means to an end. It was her lifeline, a place where she could forget her past with every conversation she had. Her journey of healing led her to understand and empathize with others like Michael. Understanding his pain, Lily felt a deeper sense of compassion towards him. She saw in him not just a grieving widower, but a resilient soul, fighting to keep his world together in the face of immense loss, which reminded her of her son's loss. Armed with this new insight, Lily approached her interactions with Michael with even more empathy and patience. She knew that grief was a complex journey, one that couldn't be rushed or ignored. Her goal was no longer just to serve him coffee, but to offer him a friend, a companion, a compassionate person he can talk to. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Lily's gentle presence became a constant in Michael's life. She became someone he looked forward to seeing each morning, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there were glimmers of light and hope. She listened to his stories about Clara with a compassionate ear, never judging, never pitying. Instead, she celebrated the love he had experienced, and in doing so, she gently nudged him towards the path of healing. But Michael's heart was a fortress, guarded by the ghosts of his past. The thought of moving on felt like a betrayal to Clara's memory, a denial of the love they had shared. The battle within him intensified, love and guilt intertwining in a complex dance. Lily, sensing his turmoil, tread carefully. She knew that love could not be rushed, that the heart needed time to mend. Yet in the quiet corners of her own heart, she harbored a hope that perhaps, just perhaps, she could be the one to help Michael find light in the darkness. As the weeks unfolded, the bond between Michael and Lily grew stronger, evolving beyond the confines of the coffee shop into something richer, more profound. Walks in the park nearby became a regular part of their routine, where the tranquility of nature painted a romantic picture for their deeper conversations. They talked about everything and nothing. These walks were a relief to Michael's soul, an escape from the ever-present memories that haunted him. The most significant step in their growing relationship came when Michael introduced Lily to his children. He had been frightened about this meeting, unsure how his children would react to someone new entering their closely knit circle. To his surprise and relief, they welcomed Lily with open hearts. Her genuine warmth and kindness won them over instantly. Michael's children, intuitive and observant, seemed to understand the positive influence Lily had on their father's life. They saw the subtle changes in him, the occasional smiles, the lessening of the weight in his eyes, and they silently thanked her for bringing a glimpse of the old Michael back. Amidst this blossoming relationship, Lily found the courage to open up about her past. Lily, taking a deep breath, said,
Michael, there's something about my past I've never shared with you. I think it's time I did.
You can tell me anything, Lily. I'm here for you.
I was married once. It wasn't the life I had hoped for. My husband, he wasn't kind. It was a time filled with so much pain.
I'm so sorry you went through that, Lily.
The hardest part was losing my son. Not to fate, but to circumstances. I couldn't keep him with me. He's out there somewhere, and I miss him every day.
Lily, that's incredibly tough. No one should have to endure that kind of loss.
Life has a way of testing us, doesn't it? But I've learned, grown. I found strength I never knew I had. And now, here, with you, I feel like I'm finally moving forward.
Your strength is inspiring, Lily. It's one of the many things I've come to admire about you.
Thank you, Michael, for listening, for understanding, for being here.
Lily, your past, your struggles, they're part of what makes you the incredible person you are today. I feel honored that you've shared this with me.
Lily said while leaning her head on his shoulder.
I never thought I'd find someone who could understand, who could see past the surface. But with you, I feel a sense of peace.
Michael said while wrapping an arm around her.
We all have our scars, Lily. They don't define us, but they are part of our stories. Together, we can help each other heal and grow.
They both sit in comfortable silence, watching the sky turn from orange to a deep twilight blue, finding comfort in each other's presence. Their relationship, tender and healing, was a dance of two souls, once lost, now finding a new rhythm together amidst the complexities of life. But with this blossoming bond came a new wave of internal conflict for Michael. His heart, slowly awakening from its long inactivity, grappled with feelings of guilt and disloyalty. He questioned his right to happiness, his worthiness of a second chance at love, a whirlwind of past and present. He started to withdraw, his visits to the coffee shop becoming less frequent, his conversations shorter. The warmth they had shared seemed to be fading, replaced by a cold distance that left Lily feeling confused and hurt. During this time, Michael grappled with his memories of Clara. He felt her absence more acutely, her voice a whisper in his dreams, reminding him of a love that once was. He feared that moving forward with Lily meant leaving Clara behind, erasing the life they had shared. Lily, sensing his withdrawal, wrestled with her own doubts. Had she misread their connection? Was she simply a short-lived distraction for a grieving man? These questions haunted her, yet she held on to the hope that the bond they had forged was strong enough to weather this storm. As Christmas approached, Michael's children noticed the change in their father. They saw the shadow of sadness return, the light that Lily had ignited dimming. In their innocent wisdom, they urged him to talk to Lily, to share his fears and doubts. Michael's heart swelled with love for his children. Their simple yet profound wisdom often took him by surprise. He knew they were right. He needed to sort out his feelings, not just for his own sake, but for theirs as well. The following day, Michael sought advice from someone he knew would understand, his mother. Sitting in their cozy family room, enjoying her afternoon tea, he opened up about his internal struggle.
Mom, I'm torn.
He confessed, his voice heavy with emotion.
I love Lily, but I feel like I'm betraying Clara's memory. I don't know what to do.
His mother, a pillar of strength and understanding, took his hands in hers.
Michael, my dear, loving Lily doesn't mean you stop loving Clara. Your heart is big enough to hold both. Clara will always be a part of you, and that's okay. But you also deserve to be happy, to move forward. Lily could be a wonderful new chapter in your life.
The emotions were too much to bear. Tears flashed in Michael's eyes as the weight of her words sank in. He hugged his mother, feeling a sense of clarity, comfort, and resolve wash over him. Inspired by his mother's words and his children's encouragement, Michael knew what he had to do. He knew he now has to go find Lily at the coffee shop, the place where their journey began. It was a cold December evening. The coffee shop sparkled with the holiday decorations, creating a cheerful picture to the love building in his heart. He saw Lily behind the counter, preparing a drink for one of the customers, her face lighting up at the sight of him. Lily stood there watching Michael as he approached her. "Lily," he began, his voice steady but full of emotion.
These past months with you have been a journey I never expected, but am so grateful for. You've brought light into my life when I thought it was forever dimmed. I love you, and I want to start a new chapter with you, if you'll have me.
He got down on one knee, presenting a small ring, his heart pounding with anticipation and hope. Lily, her eyes wide with surprise and brimming with tears, covered her mouth with her hands. A moment of shocked silence enveloped them before she finally whispered,
Yes, Michael. Yes, I will.
The coffee shop erupted in soft applause from the few patrons present as Michael slipped the ring onto her finger. They embraced, tears and laughter mingling in a beautiful symphony of emotion. As they stood there, wrapped in each other's arms, Michael knew he had made the right choice. He had found a way to honor his past with Clara while embracing a future filled with love and hope with Lily. The Christmas lights twinkled around them, casting a warm glow on the new beginning they were about to embark on together. It was a moment of profound joy and acceptance, a promise of a future where love, in all its forms, could thrive.